We did it! First part of our road.
Yep, we literally have enough, I feel like, to possibly get.
Okay, so Coyne got 2 copper wires coated in silver, and he is witching for water. First time doing it. How's it going, sweetie?
It's going great, babe. A little about water dowsing or water witching. I think the first people used sapling willows or something like that. I'm using metal or something conductive, and it will show the location, theoretically, of water underground.
Do you think those are straight enough so they're level?
Well, the thing is, I'm focusing on keeping them like level and straight. Because like I'm not focusing on keeping them able to move. I'm like kind of keeping them straight. And if all of a sudden like they actively are like moving, that's because like they're moving, if that makes sense. A lot of people are like, oh, you got to keep them perfectly level so they just swing. And it's like, well, fuck, the wind's blowing. You know what I mean? Like the wind's blowing and like micro muscle movements and shit like could possibly do that with one or the other. So it's like, I want to focus on like having my thumbs on them so they don't swing as much and kind of keeping them level. And if they turn, they turn. And if not, we're just going to use the seismic shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or correlate between the two. Oddly enough, we got some really cool readings, especially around big trees and things that would signify water. But we'll get some tests done and be able to correlate our findings.
Laura's very excited we're looking for something, even though she has no idea what it's for. Okay.
It's right here in this spot. I'm keeping them level, and I'm actually keeping my thumbs kind of on them, so I'm trying to keep them straight. So if they turn, they turn. Have any of you guys dealt with well dowsing or water witching or water dowsing, or whatever you want to call it? What do you think? Is it BS? I've seen that science doesn't support it, but we saw some weird stuff, so I don't know what to think at this point until we actually punch a hole and find some water.
Little fans when they cross somewhere?
Because like if it's wind, why would they do that? I feel like the ants also, like they're gonna be somewhere where there's a little bit of water.
Well, yeah, there's an anthill like literally right there. Like right over yonder.
They're coming together right here.
I'm interested to see how it is down by the wash.
There's this spot right here, like where the anthill is. So, sorry, anthill.
There's another anthill?
These guys right here. So sorry, anthill, but I'm putting one spot there. I'm like, oh my god.
At the property, looking at how we're going to want to make our road and where we need to put culverts in and how many we're going to have to get. So far, this is the road and the entrance to our property respectively, so we're going to put, can you kind of see it? It just looks like ground. Right here-ish in that low spot, if you can see it well, is where we're going to be putting our first culvert. And then over here, like right in there where it's low also, we'll be putting a second culvert in. And yeah, that's one of the first steps. We've got our carport up, which is pretty cool. It's flapping around in the wind. Not flapping too bad. Yeah.
Because they're all holding each other up.
Yeah, and they're all interwoven. Oh shit, I didn't even realize it really all was still standing.
Totally cut down. Looked like I wasn't doing anything and the whole tree was cut down. gonna try and control some erosion and put some rocks across some narrow pinch points on the wash and see where we go from there. So we're on the southern part of our southeast part of our property, and we're in the nice little wash area where we're eventually, I think, gonna punch a well, like in that area right over there by that big oak tree, by the big mesquite tree. But here's a good spot with a bunch of rocks and a pinch point with like this little zigzag. So I think here in this area where this big rock is, I don't think you can really see it with the sun on it, but with this big rock right here, we're going to, right in this area, pinch across there, maybe roll this rock over and allow that water to start building up in this area, and we can handle the ground a little better to handle the water. And a little bit further upstream, like on the other side of this guy, we'll probably do another one, maybe a little further, and just keep going up this. And then on the other side over here, we own this property and 3 other ones back there. So this whole section has a way bigger wash on it. So we're going to do boom, 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 boom there as well. So we're gonna get to it. So this is what we ended up with. I think this is gonna do the trick. I really do. We've got excuse me dear, we got a solid ass rock dam all the way through. And then all the brush on this side with rocks holding it down eventually hold some water back in this area. And within the next few days, we can just start adding more. But the first one, there we go. So you can get a better idea over here. You can see the ground level is pretty high over here. Like we're talking from here to here. And we built up to about that. And the thing is, when these washes come through, all this stuff like right here was all stuck to trees in here. That builds up when it kind of flash floods through here on the monsoon season. So when it does that here, you're gonna have a substantial amount of sticks and weeds and grass debris that builds up on the front of that, and it's just gonna get deeper and deeper. And we're on the south end of our property in the north, and the water runs north to south, so we should be able to at least retain some water here. Like with so much rain, with so much time in between rainfalls, the water gets hydrophobic. And you know, like when you'd make Nesquik or Nestle Quick, and sometimes the stuff just sits on the top, or like when you try to make hot chocolate, or over here, when you try to make hot chocolate with cold milk, it just kind of sits there. That's like the same thing that happens when this water, or when this land sits for months without any rain. And when the monsoons come, it just runs on the top and just goes down to some other spot where it might gather. But here with this, we allow the water time to sink in over time. So if water will sit in this area an extra day, that's substantial compared to, you know, the freaking like half a day or whatever that it runs off, and then until the next rain. So I think this will do the trick for now, and we can look and find a spot for some other ones. Hot dog. And there's like a low spot right here. We got the wash coming down right here. There's like a little like low spot where there's like a little dam. And you can see just the effect it has with just having one little high spot right here where the water kind of has to sit and take its time to move across the desert. and you end up with something like this, where you have a little puddle. You know, you can call it a puddle, but I'm sure there's a better name for it, where the water sits and takes its time to seep through. And look at the grass and shit that's growing in the middle of the desert right here in this little pocket, especially like on this backside. There's like literal grass growing right here on the other side of this berm. Pretty neat. It is the special lady's 25th birthday today. Happy birthday to you. All right, make a wish. Awesome. I love you so much.
I love you so much.
Gonna be the best year of your life.
The best year.
So we're at the property, and we just got buzzed by a C-130, and we were looking for it to come back so we can get some footage. And we've been watching this disc hovering over the mountains right here near Bisbee, Arizona. And yeah, it has not moved. It's kind of sitting there hovering, like it'll move a tiny bit. I'm on a gimbal, so I'm trying to let you see it's not something on my lens. Like, that is sitting there hovering above the mountain range, and has been for 45 minutes, a half an hour. And yeah, we don't know what to make of it.